Hello, sunshine, and thank you again for tuning in to the Destiny Designers University launch. I am just continuing to get more and more excited. I didn't think I could get any more excited when we started, but I am because there's just so many amazing people who are in my life, who I get to play with, who get to sit in my front row. I don't take any of it for granted. God is just amazing. He knows how to place people together, how to really help us continue to be a part of collaborative, achievement driven relationships. And when you evaluate who's in your network, and not the old saying of, your network equals your net worth. It's not just words. It's understanding that the people that you're around, that you surround yourself with, should always be pushing you to grow, to be in a new space of development, to bring your A game all the time. And that's what you're seeing here today. And I'm just excited that we're talking in the group, that you're sharing your takeaways, you're letting everyone know in the Destiny Designers community about what's happening, what you're learning, how we're growing, how we're going to finish 2014 strong. And now I get to introduce to you another master expert. She is absolutely amazing. Born and raised in Dominican Republic, we share a little bit of my inner Latina that I haven't discovered. She is the president and founder of CEO Mastery. She understands what she's doing from a place of education and implementation. She has an MBA and 2 earned doctorate degrees. I think she knows a little bit about what she's talking about. And she enjoys and she enjoys her work from really understanding the value and understanding our value and tapping into that mastery and being in that space of bringing value to the market. She is a 12-year cancer survivor. Woo-hoo! Standing strong on her healing and not taking no for an answer. She takes no prisoners. I love her to life, and I'm so excited that she's here with us, Dr. Monikah Ogando. Woo!
Woo! Cyber hug!
And the crowd goes wild.
I am very, very excited to be here. Thrilled that this vision that you've had for such a long time is finally coming to life, and I am so excited to be a part of it. So thank you for having me.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. And, I really appreciate, I've been getting emotional on the preparation of everyone that has really come to and say, Stacey, we got you. We're here. We're just excited. And you've been one of those cheerleaders. You've been here just supporting the work. And I'm just really grateful because you understand what it is to use what God has given you to make a difference. Mm-hmm. But tell me, for you, as you think about all that you've been through, all that you've accomplished, were you always crystal clear about what God had given you and how you were supposed to use
it? No, I think we always start, if not blind and arrogant, I'll just call that on myself, then at least just blind, right? That's kind of the starting point. Is maybe you have a feeling, maybe you have a little inkling, maybe you have a little sense of there's a calling on my life. There's something that I want to do, and it's, the alchemist, Paulo Coelho, when he wrote that book, he's talking about that dream, right? That vision. And you sometimes may not have words for it. You may not even know how to articulate it. You just know it's in your heart. But you have to keep walking in order for you to know, for it to crystallize and to get more clear, and so that you can get a little more understanding of what it is. A lot of times people try to get clear before they get going. And that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. You gotta get going first. And as you get going, you get clear.
Wait, so, pause. Put that in the feed. You can't get clear before you get going at Dr. Monikah Ogando. That was a nugget. That was a clear nugget. Okay, continue.
Well, because we have this analysis paralysis thing, and it's like, I gotta get all my ducks in a row, and it's gotta... When have you ever, for anything that's worth it, ever gotten a manual first? When you were little, did somebody hand you a manual to learn how to walk? No. You learned it by walking and by falling down and getting back up, falling down, getting back up. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, hang on to this. Don't hang on to that. And eventually you got your legs under you and you started walking, and then you started running. Some of us still walk like we're toddlers, but you got it, right? And it's the same thing with any vision. Worth it is worth you getting going first. You don't need to get clear first. That doesn't work like that. It works. You get clear by taking action. So that's something that I learned from my own analysis paralysis. As you mentioned, my degrees, and I'm very fond of collecting paper. Studying, reading books. I'm gonna buy this book. I'm gonna buy this program. I'm gonna learn from this person and this mentor and this. And before you know it, it's like, listen, stop. You have all that you need. All you have to do now is put it into action. And I think sometimes the reason why people freeze on that is because they need one person, like one guidance, one mentor. Sometimes you're listening to too many people, and then there isn't that community of like-minded high achievers that can keep you on your toes, and that can keep you accountable, and that can ask you the questions because you have permission to go there with each other. There are some people that you need to have people in your life that have permission to roll up their sleeves and smack you back to life. It's like, what are you doing? I'm thinking about books that have changed my life, and I'm thinking about mentors that have changed my life. And if any of them had waited to publish the book, if any of them had waited to put their work out there, they wouldn't have touched me. And who knows if by them not doing what they've been called to do, I would probably not survive my cancer journey.
Wow.
Maybe I wouldn't have graduated college. Maybe I wouldn't have raised my children the way that I did. Maybe I would have stayed in my first marriage was an abusive marriage. I would have stayed in there longer had it not been for the, people pouring into my life. So this is what I love about what you're creating here, is that you're creating a container where you are in community of high achievers, of permission to follow your dream, of the tools and the resources and the mentors to equip you to follow your dream. You have no excuses. You can't even rely on, I don't know how to do it. Because guess what? Nobody that invented a new way of being and that followed their dreams had a roadmap to that. It just didn't happen that way. You just put one foot in front of the other, and eventually the path reveals itself. So I'm just very thankful that to be here and to pour into the people that are part of this amazing initiative, because we don't need more people who are in the sidelines. We need people who are in the trenches, making their dreams come true. If for nothing else, to lead by example.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, you said a lot right there. I was taking down some notes on the side, trying to act like I was, but but it's so true. Putting one foot in front of the other. I'm a living witness. I would have never launched Destiny Designers University if I was waiting for everything to be perfect. Can I tell you? But the truth is that we're here. We're putting one foot in front of the other. We're creating the opportunities that are waiting for us. And unless we move, then it'll never happen. And I just appreciate you for how you share that, because that's powerful. That if they hadn't done their work, it wouldn't have been able to help you stand the storm of surviving cancer and beating it in the butt, as Les Brown would say, that you have stood the test of time because you were able to receive and you were able to refill and nourish yourself from what you were receiving from mentors and books. And, you speak 5 different languages, and I'm sure in every single language it's still the same thing that you have to do, which is take action.
Yes.
But
mispronounce stuff, and get the grammar wrong, and people looking at you crazy like, that is not, please don't butcher my language like this, but how would you know how to do it well if you don't first just do it wrong,
Exactly, and learn from it. So yeah. I want to ask you this question, because a lot of people listen to us and they listen to all of the experts that are talking, and they feel that there's so much different about you and I and them, when it's really not. What would you say has kept you grounded, that has enabled you to really hold this mindset and the way you've transformed your life? What has kept you in that space of knowing that every time I put one foot in front of the other, that something new is possible?
Well, I grew up in a house of, can we use adult language here? I grew up in a house of smart asses, which is way better than growing up in a house of dumb asses. But I remember my father telling me once, I said some crap that I didn't want to do. I was afraid of trying. I was applying for a private boarding school called Phillips Academy Andover, and I didn't think I had the chops for it. I was 13 at the time, prepubescent, jitters. And he said, "Has anybody ever gone to that school?" I was like, "Of course, hundreds and thousands of people have gone to that school." "Has anybody that was an immigrant gone to that school?" I was like, "Yeah," and I rattled them off because I did my research. He goes, "If one person can do it, you can
Mm.
do it. You don't need too much proof." It's like the Roger Bannister thing, It's like
Exactly.
nobody could run the 4 minute mile, and then Roger Bannister did it, and then 27 people did it after that. It's like, what were you people before Roger Bannister showed up? All of a sudden, now you can run 4 miles, 4 minute mile. So it's the same principle. That's what's kept me grounded. Every time that I'm looking at something, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I got the chops. It's like, well, you know what? If one person can do it, it can be done. So
Oh, I
who's
love
to
that.
say that it's not up to you? You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah. Oh, I just love that. Put that in the feed. If one person can do it, then you can do it at Dr. Monica Ogando. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It is so true that we empower each other when we really live our divine assignment. And that is something that you can only experience if you dive in and
Yeah.
live full. I think
Yes.
as Wayne Dyer talks about living full and dying empty so that we can really use all the talents. God didn't give it to us for us to hide it under a bushel. He gave it to us for us to share, for it to be a blessing to others, for us to be able to change the world. So
Yeah.
I just salute you for what you're doing, for the excellent standard of success that you have created with CEO
Yeah.
Mastery and all that you are impacting and doing globally. It's just an honor to be able to know you, to work with you. I can't wait to play together in 2015 and what we're able to bring to Destiny Designers University. But before we make those announcements, how can people just connect with you and just get to know a little bit more about my dear friend, Dr. Monika Ogando?
You can actually go to monicaogando.com/MO, which is just my initials. And I have a gift for everybody that's listening here, men or women, even though the title of the gift is Women, Wealth, and Worthiness. But this
Mm.
applies to anybody, and particularly for people of color, because there's a subconscious sabotage of wealth that happens when you are the underdog. And traditionally, women have been the underdog in this economy and this culture, and so have people of color. And so I speak the spiritual principles of wealth, the spiritual principles of worthiness, and how you put that together so that you can expand that in your entrepreneurial journey. Or your career. It doesn't have to be somebody who's starting a business. It could be somebody who just wants to take their career to the next level. It's an audio series. It's a 4-part training series. It's got worksheets and work. I mean, it's a full course. I charge $300 for it. So it's my gift to everybody that's in Destiny Designers University. Because I want to be able to pour into anybody who wants to start their journey and who wants to take their life to the next level deserves to have as much support, tools, resources as possible so that they're fully equipped to take that journey on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for offering that very generous gift. We appreciate that. And we're going to post it also in the community so people will know and have access to it. And I just thank you for all that you do. I thank you for being a real friend and just encouraging me. And I love you to life. And I thank you for that. And I'm just excited because we're living and doing the things that God has allowed us to do that's in direct will for Him. And you are such a testimony with how you just pay it forward each and every day. So continue blessings to you. Everyone, stay tuned. You've heard a lot from Dr. Monika Ogando, and whatever resonated with you, I want you right now to put that in Destiny Designers Universe, Destiny Designers Community on Facebook. That's our little private place to have our conversations just between you and I and a couple hundred friends.
I want to say one thing that I want to leave people with, and that is that, as you know, Stacey, I've been a long, long time student of A Course in Miracles. My second PhD is in comparative religion, so I study a lot of spiritual literature. And there's something that has always stuck with me, and that is that in A Course in Miracles, it says, "Nothing unworthy of God is worthy of you,"
Mm.
because you're a child of God. So if you wouldn't say it of God, don't say it of you. And I always have in my trainings and whenever I speak, I always tell people this little exercise. Anytime that you are using the word I or the phrase I am in a sentence, put God in it and see if it still makes sense. So
Mm.
when you have this limiting thought of I don't have any money, say God doesn't have any money. I don't know how to do this. God doesn't know how to do this. I don't have what it takes. God doesn't have what it takes. And you just keep going. See what happens? I can't help but laugh because every time I say that, it sounds so absurd. And you have to do that until you laugh yourself out of your own absurdity and get back on track. So that's just a little nugget that I want to leave with people so that whenever you find yourself in that funk, just start substituting your I for God. And if it doesn't make sense, drop it.
Absolutely. So funny you mentioned one of my favorite books.
Love it. Yeah, she's a
Divine.
she's a Course in Miracles student too.
Yeah, she is just amazing. And you know what? It's just further confirmation. And I love that example. Take that, everyone. Now you really have to share this out. See what people are missing if they're not tuned in. Just go right above the feed and press the Facebook icon. Share it out. Look at what's being given for this last quarter of the year to really maximize our results. So thank you so much, my dear friend. And just continue blessings to you as we live our lives, do what we need to do to bring value to the marketplace and allow the opportunity for those, especially within Destiny Designers University, to graduate to the next best level of themselves and to play with folks in CEO mastery.
High five.
All right, my dear. We'll be back again soon, so stay tuned. You don't know who's next.